Yeah, you're going to enjoy it. It's a good presentation. But their request is to move to August. So this is to approve any of the meeting dates. Does anybody have any comments or want to make any changes here or additions? Sorry, Councillor Johnson.
I did reply that I would like to attend that local government.
Oh, I've got that down here. I was moving to that next. Those are the dates. Okay, moving further down the paper, the local government know-how decision-making course is going to be held here on Taupo, Thursday, 14th of June. At this stage, we have attendee. Councillor Kipper?
I was just going to say that Board Member Wally Vander Aar expressed an interest in attending the Taupo.
This know-how decision-making course?
Yes.
I'm not sure how are community board members, what's the policy? Help me here.
I've just based the same principle in terms of the code of conduct, where it's got to, these courses have got to have council
if it's
approval.
Approved here.
And as the board haven't had a meeting and won't be having a meeting for some time, I thought it would be prudent to pass it through
Okay,
here.
so I'll put that down here and we'll get to it in a minute. So the councillors and community board members that have asked to go to this decision-making know-how workshop on Thursday is Councillor Keith Crate, Councillor Anna Kirk, Councillor Mike Downard, Councillor Rob Henderson, and of course another community board member, Mrs Maggie Stewart, Chris Johnson, Councillor Chris Johnson, and now TTCB board member Wally Vander Aar. So I don't have an issue, and unless anybody else has an issue.
I could explain the reason why it does come up to you as part of a code of conduct component, which is basically that you do have a training budget and the board has a training budget. So council and board separate training budgets. So presumably the money for Mr Vander Aar will be coming out of the community board training budget.
And Mrs Maggie Stewart.
And Mrs Maggie Stewart, yes. So it just allows you to make sure that you're all sharing the training around.
Okay, so you're all... Everybody comfortable with that?
Yep.
Okay, so we approve the meeting dates as on this sheet. Mover.
Sorry, I didn't have availability, but I do now. Would it be too late to ask if I be also attend the Audit and Finance Committee local government know-how?
Is it one of those one? When's that on?
That's in Rotorua on the 15th of June.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay. The next.
I wasn't able to. I was going to be.
So that's Friday the 15th.
Committed on that day, but
that's consecutive days. And that. I'm sorry. I should have read this properly. So Councillor Rob Henderson has applied to go to that, and as also Councillor Ian Williams. So it's the two decision-making committees, roles and functions. So if you all understand that and those meeting dates, can I have a mover, please? Move, Councillor Kirk. Secondly, Councillor Truman. All in favour? Aye. So moved. Members' reports. I'll go around the room and start with you, if you like, Councillor Hickman.
On May the 7th, I attended the Regional Transport and Regional Passenger Transport Committees. Attended the AGM of Acacia Bay Residents Association on Sunday.
Who's the new president, if you don't mind?
It's
Morris.
yet to be appointed.
Morris Gianotti stood down.
Yes, yeah. And they've set a new committee, and the committee will appoint a new chairman. Also went down to Turangi, Lake Taupo liaison committee, and we had a field trip around the erosion control and all the erosion problems there, and the Tongariro River. And like most councillors, we've all got this big stack of books on our desks, and we was heavily involved locked in a room, reading all the submissions and then listening to the submissions and then deliberations. So it's been a pretty hectic month as far as I'm concerned. Thank you.
I'll concur with that with you. Councillor Truman.
Yeah, we had a
consultation day in Mangakino in regards to wayfinding. So it was on the 10th of May. And that will come up in our next representative meeting, which is in June.
Cool. Councillor Kirk?
The 2 weeks of draft LTP hearings of submissions and deliberations, and due to that I had to hand in apologies to the Lakes DHB Community Forum because it was the last day of the deliberation process, so nothing outside of those 2 weeks, I'm afraid, this month.
Just on that Lake DHB, now I understand it only verbally from Dr. Peter Battersby that the review's been done and it's been released about 3 or 4 days ago, and that Taupo has been downgraded to a rural hospital status.
I'll follow that up.
If you wouldn't mind, and let your fellow councillors know in the loop, but I'm sure there's about a 15-page release out.
I'll call Elsa.
We're sitting on Battersby. I went in for a check-up the other day, and it was sitting there, and he meant to give it to me. I left without it, but apparently that's released, and from what I can understand, they're not very happy.
Yep, no problem.
But you need to read it.
Yep,
please.
thank you.
Just on that, Councillor Kirk, I heard from Dr. Mike Thompson yesterday they're only allowing for one physician at the Taupo Hospital.
That's
They've cut the funding for the second.
That's another thing he told me. He
physician.
told me something. I don't want to sort of repeat them because I get them wrong, because the release is there. If you could read it and then disseminate it around to your fellow, tell us to give us the bullet points out of it.
Yes.
Because the likes of Grey Powder tomorrow, they'll be on about it again.
No problem. I'll give Elsa Gathergood, the chair, a call after the meeting concludes.
But downgrading it to a rural status was the big one, according to Peter Battersby. So,
okay.
Councillor Williams?
Oh, well, certainly the long-term plan's taken a significant tranche of time, like everybody else here who've got other commitments outside council, but also obviously attended a number of governance meetings around the Erupt Lake Taupo Festival, and just to report back to you that I think the museum did extraordinarily well out of visitor numbers over the duration of the festival, especially with their face value exhibition in the Tūwharetua Gallery, where there was live tattooing going on Mr. Dylan Tahoe's product, an artistic outcome of that process. Also, just a brief précis following the festival of how it went. I think hopefully many of you were able to attend events, even though we had such a busy schedule here. But I think the lights in the park were a huge success. The community really loved that. Thousands came again, and the Cube Club also proved the Malcolm Flowers Cube Club proved a huge success amongst especially the young people. We had more young people than ever before turn out at the festival, so the whole community engagement, I think, was really, people went to less shows. Just from anecdotal evidence, they haven't got the results of the survey yet, but they went to less shows, but more people went to the festival this time. So it really was a big success. And from what I understand, there's been no budget blowouts. There's a few small variances, and there'll be sort of a full reports coming at the June board meeting. But I think really the governance team of that trust have been congratulated since festival going back to 1996. They've never come bleeding to council asking for handouts because of blowouts. They've been very responsible as far as managing their budgets, and their general manager's done a superb job, because artists aren't the easiest people to manage. And then just finally, they've got their Great Lake Tales, the Readers and Writers Festival, coming up in August, so I'll keep you briefed about that. But I think they're playing a really valuable role in the community, and certainly I think one of the most important issues that I can see is the wonderful interaction with regards to the artists going out into the schools around the region and working with children, teaching them an instrument, or making them interested in playing an instrument, and giving them theatre experiences and all sorts of wonderful dance opportunities and workshops that they may never have otherwise been able to be exposed to. So, yeah, I think all in all a really successful festival. And thank you to the council for the ongoing support as the core funder.
Pleased to hear that. Thank you very much. Councillor Downard?
No.
Councillor Crate? Keith?
Just the wayfinding one in Mangakino.
Just on that wayfaring in Mangakino, is that what that budget's left there for? Is that Mangakino Sherva?
There is part of it for Mangakino, yes.
Yeah, it's shared with Turangi, yeah, 100,000. Wairaki Park concessionaires in preparation for the takeover of State Highway 1, Zone 1 and 2 meeting. We went Zone 1 2, yeah. Mobility group met with those. They're a bit disappointed that the footpaths have been cut, of course, from the budget, because mobility people need footpaths. And Destination Great Lake Taupo just sorting out a forum and their autumn campaign. That's me.
Councillor Minshew?
Basically the same as about long-term plan. That's where I've been. So.
Yep. Councillor Kipper?
All right, I went to an LWAG meeting which was held on 2nd of May in Turangi. The essence of that was I was rather taken by a question from the floor which was, why do we catch more trout in Lake Rotorua than we do in Lake Taupo? And the response from Michelle, who is the dock scientist, was that the clarity of the water here is a much higher quality than it is in Rotorua. Went to the Zone 1 and 2 on Friday the 11th. There were some important issues here. A couple of main speakers. Local Government New Zealand sent their CEO Malcolm Alexander along with Mike Reid, the governance manager. Now what they told us on that day was totally different from what Mr. Carter said last weekend. But essentially they said some of the main points were that the well-beings would be gone, that the minister could appoint a review team and appoint a Crown manager if they thought councils weren't being managed properly, and also if councils were to amalgamate, there would be a poll of which 50% would have to agree to the amalgamation. And the other speaker was Wayne Brown from Kaipara District Council, speaking on minerals and the problems they have up there, which was also quite interesting. And of course, yesterday I went to the Lake Taupo Liaison Committee, a tour with Councillor Hickling and Councillor Henderson.
Cool. Thank you very much, Mr. Kipper. I'll bet you enjoyed Mr. Brown's. He's a cowboy, eh? You should have seen him go off in Timaru, mate. Okay, Councillor Johnson.
Just attended the Zone 1 and 2 with Councillor Kepper and Crate, and the odd couple of days in council the last few weeks.
Just the odd couple. Councillor Henderson.
Yeah, the odd couple of days in council in the last 2 weeks, and many other engagements, which is with Tina Jakes for anybody who wishes to have a look, including the public, as to what I've been doing and up to, and if they wish to talk to me about any of those things, by all means do.
Okay, well, team, thank you very, very much. There's a suggested resolution that the reports from the members be received. Could I have a mover, please? Moved, Councillor Kirk. Seconded, Councillor Minshew. All in favour? Aye. I would now like a mover and a seconder, please, for a resolution to exclude the public so we can go into confidence to discuss the next 5 or 6 agenda items. Moved, Councillor Kirk. Seconded, Councillor Johnson. All those in favour? Aye. And webcam off.